Man, oh man.
Good day, mate.
What a weekend. I think it's safe to say that was the craziest long Iowa State weekend ever.
I was just going to say, who had a weekend?
Well, it happened to fall on everyone's weekend.
It's not Thursday night still?
Gosh, I remember sitting there. I'm at the bar in Mexico.
Oh, yeah, you were in Mexico.
This nice preferred bar because we paid the extra money to get into this preferred section. And I've got a martini and I start looking at my phone and Jesus Christ, it's going to happen. Matt Campbell is going to go. And that was just the start of the weekend. That was just the start of it. And of course, you've got the Iowa State men's basketball team with one of the most impressive victories in program history at number 1 Purdue. And then all of the crazy fallout with the fan base, part of the fan base going after Pollard and talking NIL. And then today you have the new coach being hired. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, we got a new guy.
The new coach is hired before Matt Campbell was like even out of the building. Just nuts. Insane. I don't know that we'll ever see anything like that again.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I did an event on Sunday night, and the MC asked me, is this the craziest? And I was like, I don't know. Like the Big 12 missile crisis was pretty nuts. Like when that 24-hour span, now it's officially done.
Yeah, and that had more like long-term ramifications. You know, if Iowa State gets kicked out or the Big 12 completely falls apart, and then who knows where you are in a few years. But this was like direct impacts immediately to the fan base.
And, dude, they whooped Purdue's ass.
Oh, God. That was one of the more well-timed victories in Cyclone history as well, with the fan base as down as they were.
What the hell have you guys been up to? You going to another Outback Bowl?
Yeah, you know what? Iowa's actually going to play in a bowl game this year.
I'm really bummed about that, actually. We can talk about that. Bowl games, I make fun of them, but
there's a lot to get to.
I'm really bummed about that.
A lot to get to, and I know a lot of Iowa State fans feel the same way. So let's get to it on a Monday night.
As a student athlete, life can be pretty demanding. Fortunately, I can always count on Fairway to help me refuel and bounce back. It's why this is right where I want to be. Fairway, your home court advantage.
Nate Bargatze.
It's a lot to have 2 dogs because you got to open the back door and let 2 dogs out.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour, Casey's Center, Friday, April 24th. Tickets available at natebargatze.com.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
I need to silence my phone.
Do I need lip gloss?
I'm Mackenzie Edie. That is Scott Sipgert, and this is Overthinking.
Tune in every Tuesday at noon to hear us overthink life, pop culture, nonsense. We do it all.
We want you to join in on the conversation.
See you next Tuesday.
Chris Williams, Chris Hassel. 2 Chris's, 1 network. This is 2 Guys. Presented by Fairway Meat and Grocery. From the Channel Seed Studios, this is 2 Guys. Exclusively on Iowa Everywhere.
We are presented by Fairway Meat and Grocery. Welcome to the program. Monday night. It is the 8th of December. We are in the Channel Seed Studios, and so much to get to. It's Cyhawk basketball week, massive games. Cannot wait for the women's game Wednesday night. It's going to be really, really entertaining.
Women's game Wednesday, men's game Thursday. We are pushing 2 guys back to Friday morning.
Thank you for that. I would have
not exactly sure on the time yet. We haven't decided, but we want to be able to react to those games.
Yeah, it makes all the sense in the world to do that, and plus we're doing a late one here. When the hell does the college football playoff even start? I
think it's a week from Friday is the first game.
A week from Friday. Chris, I was in church on Sunday, and I forgot that it was the bowl selection thing. I'm not kidding. That God's honest truth here, this is a subtle flex. I got a call today from a New York number, and I'm like, I was driving, and I'm like, this is weird. I forgot to put my Heisman vote in.
Oh my God! Well, see, there you go. That's how crazy this weekend has been.
The deadline was
State.
at 4, and it was like 2, and they're like, "You're gonna do this?"
Did you
and
get
I was
it in?
like, "Yeah, I got it in."
I think it's going to be Mendoza.
I can't tell you who.
Have they announced the finalists yet? I mean, Mendoza and Pavia are the only 2 that have a chance to win it. Oh, Jake Bren with us tonight
your mic's
on
not
mute.
On, Jake. You're not on.
Julian Sayin and Jeremiah Love, the other finalists.
Okay, so 4
So
finalists.
there's 4 of them?
Yes.
And Mendoza will win it.
Most likely, yes.
He's like minus, I don't know, 2,500 or something.
Didn't he kind of become like a meme over the weekend or whatever the kids say?
Yeah, interesting interview.
I don't know anything that happened in sports outside of the walls of Ames, Iowa this weekend.
Yeah, so we could start in any number of places, but we did a show following the Campbell departure, which seems like a blur. Like I don't remember what all was said on that show, but I know we reacted to Campbell's departure and the hiring of this guy that I didn't know. I'm just being honest. I had no idea who Jimmy Rogers was.
I only knew of him from the guy who got the Washington State job after the Pac-12 blew up thing. Like, like that's.
Dude, they are pissed at him. They are those fans. You think Iowa State fans have it bad?
Oh, it's the worst over there.
Try being a Washington State fan these last few years.
I feel
what has happened to them.
I feel horrible for them.
It's terrible. And he comes in there and he's thinking he's going to be there a while. He doesn't know that Matt Campbell is going to be leaving after this season. I did think one of the weirder developments over the last few days is how close Pollard and the new coach have been. Like Pollard said today that he would text him before every game he coached to say good luck.
I think Rogers said that Pollard would text him. But regardless, that's
what is that? That's odd, don't you think?
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I mean, I guess I don't either, but have you ever heard of that before?
Well, Pollard would
what if the Penn State coach, what if the Penn State AD was like, yeah, I used to text Matt Campbell, good luck, before every single game he coached at Iowa State. That would be odd.
Pollard would go to TJ's games in Brookings sometimes. When he was
but that makes sense because TJ was at Iowa State before that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I mean, they did this whole deal where they did they told the story where Pollard interviewed him at some mock interview thing where it was where these coaches would go and get reps.
I think this is really similar to when, and I mentioned this briefly on our last show, to when Pollard passed up TJ Otzelberger for Steve Prohm and told Otzelberger that he needed to go out and get head coaching experience before coming back to Iowa State. And I think in Pollard's mind, it worked out perfectly because look at TJ Otzelberger now in the program now.
Yeah, and TJ had low major and high and mid major experience before he was able to, right? Because he bounced to UNLV after a couple years. Yeah, it is similar.
And apparently he said the same thing to Mauser. But he did. But you don't want to suffer through a few years of Prohm the football version of Prom, do you? And I'm
Oh,
not
God,
saying
yeah.
that's going to happen. I'm just saying I don't think it turned out as great as Pollard thinks it did because of where you're at now. I mean, you had to crawl through a river of shit to come out clean on the other side with TJ, who wanted to come back. Is Taylor Mauser going to want to come back? I don't know. I doubt it.
I hope so. Because I think Mauser's going to be a really good coach. But yeah, I mean, it all makes sense. When I did think that most guys do, but I do think Rodgers, like, quote unquote, won the press conference. Don't you think he had a good press conference? It seemed
it was fine. It was there.
Yeah.
There was nothing bad about it. I thought it was blah.
He was very authentic, though, is what I liked about
Sure.
it. Like
Look,
but most coaches are at the beginning.
I thought there's nothing that I could pick apart. Nothing. There's nothing I could say where like, I thought he should have said this. I thought he should have done that. I think he said all the right things. He mentioned Washington State a lot, which I thought was important. We'll see. I mean, winning the press conference is not the hard part.
No, anybody should be able to do that.
The hard part is going to be this hard reset, and we'll see how hard it is. But this is Pollard going with this guy instead of Mauser makes this a hard restart. And you know what? Sometimes the hard restarts work out.
Well, and to play devil's advocate to that, and we kind of discussed this on Friday night, but he would have been criticized if he hired Mauser too. Like, there was a huge chunk
There's
of the
no
fan
doubt.
base.
There's no doubt.
Lazy hire, like, you know, all those things. So
Now,
what
that
was
doesn't
so-
mean that it wouldn't have been the better hire. We will never know.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
What was so unique about it, though, was the fact that most fans found out, and frankly, the players, because they were in that team meeting, Matt tells them, from what we understand, Matt tells them he's leaving, and then, I mean, it was on social media, like Iowa State releases that they had hired Jimmy Rogers. It's just, it was such a crazy turn of events that you didn't really have a lot of time to process it, which I would argue is probably pretty smart because it gives the new guy and whatever he has of a staff a chance to come in and re-recruit the players. If you take a week to do this, most of them are in the portal before the new guys get to town.
I'm seeing a lot of comments that say that I'm missing the point of the Otz comparison, that Rodgers is Otzelberger, not Mauser. How is that? I don't understand that. Otz wanted the job, young coach without head coaching experience.
Jamie Pollard
passed up. Pollard passed up on Otzelberger to hire Prohm, who already had head coaching experience, told Otzelberger to go elsewhere, get that coaching experience, and come back, which is exactly what he told Mauser. Am I missing something there?
No. For what it's, we're also getting a lot of people watching on YouTube about Mauser and potentially staying at Iowa State. He's going to Penn State.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's like out there, but I'm telling you, like, he's going to Penn State. So no, Mauser won't be on the staff.
I would guess that the majority of coaches won't be, right? Won't the majority of coaches not be on this staff?
That's not how it works. You know, there may be one or two. But like most coaches, when they go to a place, and like Rodgers is saying this is like the spot that he wanted to get to, like they want to bring their own guys. And he talked about that in the press conference today. I mean, he talked about one of the reasons why he was attracted to this job was because he saw how Matt was able to bring that whole group from Toledo. And
I heard that too. Is that really not that normal? I thought that was normal. Like, don't coaches, when they get a job, they're allowed to basically bring their whole staff and any players they want to their new school? Like,
I figured that was just like a normal thing, because I don't know many coaches that
Yeah. Well, I'm going to take this head coaching job here, and I'm going to let the athletic director tell me what coaches I can and can't bring.
And it's hard too, because when you take a job, you want fresh. You want to do your own thing, and any semblance of the old guy, it can oftentimes distract from that. But Rogers said today there will be a couple of guys who have an opportunity to stay. So we'll see what happens there. We're presented as always by our friends at Fairway Meat and Grocery. Had a great time texting with our buddy Quentin over at Freedom Tire this weekend. Did you know he's a big F1 fan? Quentin is.
I love the F1 tires. I've always been fascinated by the smooth tires.
Oh, the slicks?
Yeah.
Oh, those are racing tires.
I know.
No, but Quentin and I were up early watching the F1 race and texting and reminded me I should give you guys a shout out over at Altoona. I like the Ames location as well. Beautiful spot. Over in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Urbandale, Freedom Tire. We are getting hammered with snow here constantly.
More snow?
Yeah, we got a huge snowstorm on Saturday night.
Williams, did you hear about my experience?
No, what'd you do?
So I went to that wedding on Saturday night.
Yeah.
I was up in Fort Dodge. Shout out All Gas No Breakfast in the comments. That's where he's from. Fort Dodge got more snow than anywhere in the state. They got 8 inches in a span of 3 hours.
Wow.
While we were in the wedding. It was unbelievable.
So then you got out and it was just crazy.
Well, we got out of the church that the wedding was in and drove to the reception, and that's when it was real bad. And then it was really bad after the reception too. What are the odds?
Well, get those don't have the slicks on when the snow's coming down. I don't think they got slicks over at Freedom Tire. So then so Rogers is the new coach, has the team meetings, doing all this stuff. And meanwhile, Iowa State goes on the road in basketball and beats Purdue by like 60 points.
And it's kind of just been washed over because this football thing has swallowed it from both sides.
Any other year we would be, or any other show, we're leading with this.
This is, you could 100% argue that this is the most impressive win in Iowa State basketball history. Going on the road to the number one team in the country. And this isn't some, flash in the pan number one at some piddly little stadium. This is Mackey Arena, one of the toughest places to play in the country. And they went there, they laid their wood down on the hardwood and just smacked them around with it all game long. I mean, embarrassed Purdue. Embarrassed them. Did you see the looks on those students' faces?
Oh, yeah.
They had never seen anything like this before. There was no run. You know how everybody makes a run. There was no run from number one.
I kept waiting on it. I was like, oh, they're up 20. Okay, this thing will end at about 11.
It's insane. No team has ever gone to the number one team's building and won by more points. 23 points. God.
How do we process this? Because it's still early December.
Yeah.
At one point, Iowa State was the number 2 team in the country last year and rolling.
Well,
injuries happened.
I never truly thought they were a potential, national champion last season.
Okay, so
they got off to a good start, okay? But I thought there were some holes there in last season's schedule because they went to Maui. Bring up Iowa State. Brian, can you bring up Iowa State's schedule from last season? Because you were thinking you were going to get all these marquee matchups in Maui, and it never really happened. And they had a nice stretch, but
they blew that 18-point lead against Auburn. Remember that?
Right, in Maui.
Yeah.
And that was their one chance at like a huge marquee win. But the other wins, like, whatever. And they went on. They looked good. I don't know that they were great at the start of last season because I thought the schedule wasn't like remember we thought that Marquette game was going to be, they were number 5 in the country. Marquette wasn't that good.
No, you're right. They turned out to be a dud.
So they played Dayton and Colorado, and those were their wins in Maui.
Colorado sucked.
Did either one of those teams make the tournament?
No.
Did
Dayton
Marquette make the tournament? I can't even remember. They weren't a ranked team. I know that. Iowa wasn't good. Remember at the time we thought Iowa should be a tournament team. They weren't. So yeah, you got off to that, 13-1 start. But I never felt like that team had this extra gear that this team clearly does, with Momcilovic playing like a first-team All-American right now and a freshman who's playing like a first-team freshman All-American right now. And then you have Tamin Lipsey, who's back and doesn't appear to be injured anymore. I mean, everything is working for Iowa State right now.
Yeah, that's why I asked, how do we process it? Because boy, it's real easy to say.
You're peaking too soon.
Well, you could say that, but you could also go this is a Final Four team. And it is still December in college basketball. But the thing is, as you pointed out, where are the holes right now? And the combo of Lipsey, Momcilovic, and Jefferson is really good, right? That's top 3 guys, you're right up there with pretty much everybody. But then you add Torrey to the mix. And completely on it. We knew he would be pretty good.
Game changer.
But, yeah. And then on top of it, this kid Buchanan just keeps getting better and better by the game. And he outplayed the guy, the Clough kid from Purdue, who he was pretty good. But Buchanan was that was a huge recruiting battle. I don't know if you guys remember that from the spring, where we thought Clough would end up at Iowa State, and then the NIL thing happened, and he's getting millions upon millions, and he ends up going somewhere else, and Iowa State, quote-unquote, settles for Buchanan, but I was being told the whole time that they thought he was a better, fit for their system, and boy, has he ever been that. This guy more than held his own, and he's just getting better and better. So it cautiously up to Jake, ball.
I don't want to step on Matt Van Winkle's toes a little too much, but I just put myself in the studio. So I think there's a really interesting conversation.
Where the hell is Van Wilk?
He literally just landed.
Landed where? He's back in Des Moines?
Yeah, he was in Arizona.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So he
I knew
back.
I knew that he was in Arizona, but I didn't know he has already landed.
No, he texted me that he landed 40 minutes ago, and once he got back, he uploaded an ad that we needed.
Oh, nice.
Van Winkle's a real one.
Thank you, Van Wilk.
But I do think there is an interesting conversation to be had on where college basketball is right now. So not to get too Ken Palmy on you, but right now Iowa State's net rating is 34.2, second best in the country, which is obviously really good. For the longest time, the national champion, there would typically be maybe one team each year with a net rating of 30 or better. And last year, with Duke, Houston, Florida, Auburn, Tennessee, Alabama, you had 6 teams with net ratings of 30 or better. I think this is showing the NIL, the gap between the haves and the haves not. Because right now, if Iowa State had a 34 net rating and you just drop them in 2018, they are the clear-cut number 1 team in the country. It's not even close. But you've got 3 other teams right now in Arizona, Duke, and Michigan that are playing at just as high of a level. And you could really make arguments for all 4 of them to be number 1. So I think there's an argument to be made where if you get in that range where those 4 teams are right now, you truly do have a better track at the Final Four than if you were a top 4 team 10 years ago.
Buckets. I saw something today from Matt Norlander as well. I'm sorry, did I interrupt you?
No, I was just going to let Jake promote the new Buckets show.
Buckets. Andrew Downs and I.
He's running off with these stats and Ken Palm and just doing all this crazy stuff. I'm like, hey, let's promote Buckets.
Yeah, Buckets will be live at B-Dubs, 4 o'clock Thursday before the Cyhawk men's game. We'll recap the women's game. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I grew up going to that B-Dubs like before every Iowa State men's basketball
Did you know I used to
game.
do the Thursday night Cyclone Fanatic radio show from that B-Dubs?
I think
Radio.
every restaurant I bring up, you say that.
Yeah.
You know, we used to do a Cyclone Fanatic show there.
We used to do all those. Yeah, we did the Estas. We were the Ridgemont down. We were everywhere.
But
Yeah,
check,
old days.
tune in. Andrew Downs and I will be on the scene there. So if you want to go get some wings and beer
Great.
before the game, hit us up. If not, join us live on YouTube.
Yeah, I guess we have to preview that game here because we don't have another show before.
There's so much to get to. Like, there's so much going on. Iowa won their first Big Ten game under Babe McCullum.
Yeah, I mean, it was their second played Big Ten game after getting smoked
Won
by
their
Michigan
first
State.
one.
But yes, and that was easy. I mean, come on, Maryland's not very good. They're a below mediocre team, but Iowa piss pounded them just like they should. The crowd was pretty good at Carver. Hearing reports from people that have attended games there the last several years that you can definitely tell a difference. And it is ramping up. They're getting more buy-in. Now, having said all that, I do not expect Iowa to win this game. I just want to see this be a game in the second half. I don't think I would lay 12 or 13, though, if that's what the spread is going to be.
No, I wouldn't do that. You know where I'm going with this. At some point, your three-point shooting will return to the mean.
I mean, a steep drop-off for Iowa State if that
Jake,
happens.
have you done the what have they shot from three in like the last 8 halves of basketball or whatever? Give me a number.
I'll
I'm
join
sure
you in a
you've
minute.
done this. Give me in a minute.
I did it for the games, whatever, whoever they beat by 60 the other day. I did it for
Acorn
like
State.
Yeah, Steve McNair, Aaron McNair. I did it after that game. I have not included the Purdue one. I'll be back in a minute.
I mean, it's truly incredible the rate that they've been shooting at. And this is also the team. Remember after the Creighton exhibition where the whole thing, oh, they can't shoot. It's going to be a problem all year. It's getting
What an
blown up.
overreaction. The Creighton game for Iowa State. Remember Iowa lost to like St. Louis or something?
I forgot Iowa lost to Rick Majerus.
Rest in peace.
God rest his soul. Put St. Louis on the map.
I think Ben McCullum is going to get this team to perform better than they did against Michigan State. I think they already have that experience of going in to just a ridiculously hostile environment against an extremely talented team. And I think that's going to help Iowa in this game. I do. I think that's going to help them with their confidence, know more what to expect. And hey, but they'll feel closer to home. They'll be closer to Des Moines, all those Drake kids. Be a homecoming for them. And I think it could be a decent game. But
I don't disagree.
I certainly don't expect an Iowa win.
It'll be a great matchup with Sturts and Jake.
But man, if you shut down Sturts, or
well,
not
that's
shut
the
him
thing.
down,
Like, do you
if you
just
hold
put
him to
Torrey on him?
15,
Is Torrey get the assignment, or do you put Lipsy on?
you tell me.
I'm asking Jake. He's the buckets.
So I punched the numbers. The last 3 games, Iowa State shooting 57.5% from 3, 42 of 73. So that's not going to continue, clearly.
No, you return to the mean at some point.
The encouraging part, though, is that they beat St. John's while hitting, it was 4, something like that. They didn't hit many against Mississippi State. But yeah, I think when it comes to Bennett Sturts, you have to be careful on how much you're sending doubles, how much you're trapping, because he is such a good passer. But yeah, it's Torrey. You're going 70% Torrey.
Yeah.
You're mixing in Lipsy. You're mixing in Heisey. You're mixing in Bateman for maybe a quick change of pace when he comes in the game. But I would say Torrey, Heisey, Lipsy are all 3 more capable. Of course, Taman's best when he's playing free safety, and is anticipating where passes are going and goes the other way. But I think you got to go with Torrey.
Oh my God.
He just did really well on Braden Smith, who most people say is the best point guard in the country. And the second is probably Bennett Sturtz. So Torrey will be challenged back-to-back games.
What was your guys' reaction when you turned on the Iowa game and Steve Prohm was on the call?
My mouth dropped. My mouth was
I had no idea.
I knew it was coming, and my mouth...
You did?
Yeah, Walters mentioned it on Wednesday when we talked to Matt Campbell about signing day like all things were normal. I don't know how we got down
introduced the 30 new Cyclones and then you leave an hour
I don't know
later.
how we got down the path of the Prohm era or the final Prohm year, but he mentioned that Prohm's in broadcasting now, which I knew, and then he said, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's doing the game with Connor Onion on Monday.
So I knew that Steve was getting into this stuff, but I didn't know that he actually was doing games.
Yeah. I didn't
it-
either
it
until
was
Walter
shocking
said
when-
something.
Well, it's one of those deals where
I thought I was in like a bizarro world with the Matt Campbell stuff and, the new coach coming in and then what Prohm? What the hell's going on?
My wife was working and I was like cleaning up the house and I'm doing dad stuff and I had the Iowa game on in the background and all of a sudden I heard a man and
Oh yeah.
oh my God, is that who I think it is? And then he's like,
well, do you know
that
what?
twang and like, and I actually really liked it. It was like he was doing a podcast.
He was pretty good.
I thought he was really
Yeah,
insightful.
he was pretty good. I was surprised. I didn't know what to expect. He
little
was the
long.
perfect guy to call the game because he played all those Drake guys last year.
Oh yeah, great point.
Beat him.
Yeah.
Beat the
Beat him
brakes
once,
off
yeah.
of him in the Knapp Center. Like, truly beat him bad. That game was on FS1. That's what channel the Cyhawk game is on Thursday.
Who's
Who do we got
announcing
on the
that
call
game? Do we
that?
know?
We don't have the game notes yet. Could you imagine, though? That'd be
It
awkward.
can't be Prohm in that game. That
Well,
can't be.
Do you remember what happened
God,
the first Cyhawk game with Otzelberger? Prohm was working for the field of 68, and they had someone bail at the last second, so they
It was
called
so
up
awkward.
Prohm to fill in. And Otzelberger is at the podium crying because he's back. He brought Hilton Magic back. They beat Iowa by 25, and Prohm is just reacting to the game on the Field of 68 podcast. It was so awkward, so uncomfortable.
God
Yeah, because the
damn.
whole story is how shitty they were a year ago.
This
and
was a
now-
team that didn't even win one conference game last year.
What do you think, Coach?
TJ Otzelberger comes in and they look like they could go to the Sweet 16.
We'll get to. I want to talk bowl games coming up, but let's go long because I want to go long on, and it's bowl related, and then we'll get into that conversation.
It's time to go long with Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
Don't be an idiot. You need help with your taxes.
How the hell did you just tweet?
I didn't just tweet.
You just tweeted.
I didn't
Share
just
an
tweet.
update with the latest shipping timelines for both versions of the book.
Jacqueline must have done that.
Oh, that's good.
That it certainly wasn't me. By the way, on that note,
Mhm.
the book is in 32 different Fairway stores across the state. So thank you to them. That's really cool that they did that, and I hope that people enjoy it. By the way, and I was saying, don't be an idiot. You're not smart enough to do your own taxes. You need to hire our guy Tim. It's going to be tax season right before you know it. Don't be an idiot. Let Tim do your taxes. Wealth Charter. Tim, I hope you're cool with that read. I think that's very effective. Don't be an idiot.
Agreed.
Have you been paying attention to this Notre Dame ACC thing?
Yeah.
So this is fascinating. Which, by the way, I don't know. I haven't paid enough attention to the playoff yet because I've been so busy with everything else. I just haven't paid a lot of attention to this. The ACC apparently was like campaigning to keep Notre Dame out of the playoff to get Miami in. You tell me if I'm incorrect here. I'm reciting this as I've.
How exactly were they doing that? Campaigning to keep Notre Dame out. I mean, all I really saw was that they were propping up Miami.
Well, Notre Dame
had a head-to-head win over Notre Dame.
So Notre Dame put out a deal today, basically saying they said irreparable damage has been done.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? They're not in the conference.
Well, we feel the same way.
You know what? If you were actually in the ACC, you probably would have gone to the championship game and won your way in. But they don't want to be a part of a conference. So this kind of shit can happen.
Really sick and tired of the Notre Dame.
Agreed.
And so then they backed out of their bowl game like a bunch of babies. Like, no, we're not going to let
I think it was
going to.
They were going to play in the Pop-Tart Bowl against BYU. I think that was going to be the matchup.
Which would have been a great game. We would have cared about that. Like, that would have been a great bowl game.
Suit yourself. I still wouldn't.
I heard a rumor. I heard that if BYU would have gotten in the playoff, Iowa State was going to get an Alamo Bowl bid. I don't know if it's true. I heard that.
It makes sense. They were definitely close to the Alamo Bowl pecking order. Is there any chance that the vote goes differently if they're in the Alamo Bowl?
I don't know. So from what I understand, and I've asked a lot of questions, it was truly a numbers thing. And yeah, like the guys kind of they really wanted to play, but it was like they're looking at the defensive numbers. I don't know all the inner workings of that, how exactly. I really don't. I wish I did. But that sucks. Like I'm actually like down about that. I know like we give bowl games a lot of crap. Rightfully so. They've ruined it with these opt-outs and the playoff has kind of diminished everything. It is not nearly as fun going into this time of year with your team out of it.
I think that bowl games mean more for Iowa State fans because there are so many people that for so long, I mean, look at Steve Kemp. I mean, how long has that guy been? He got a shout out at the press conference today.
He did.
It was good to hear. And for so long, Iowa State couldn't even dream of making a bowl game, until the year 2000. They finally break through. They win a bowl game. And so I think it's different for a lot of Iowa State fans. They do value bowl games more than a lot of other fan bases. Like Notre Dame fans, I think they're in lockstep. They don't want to see their team in a bowl game. They just want to take their ball and go home because they're pissed. And in the case of Iowa State and Kansas State, I totally get it. I mean, you lost your coach. You have no idea where you're going to be next year. You have no idea what this new coaching staff is going to be like. Do you really want to keep going out there and practicing every day for what? A lot of unknown.
It is notable too. Like, Jake, correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't they down like 7 defensive backs in the last game?
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like it's an obscene number, but like they're
Caden
really.
Caden Matson, a walk-on, was starting,
and then he got hurt.
Game. He did come back in, but yes, he got hurt in that game. Tayshaun James was out. Of course, Josh Patterson transferred. Van Dinter was hurt. Cummings Coleman was done for the season.
I mean, both of those corners.
They were 1 or 2 safety injuries away from
not having a guy, like having to play like a wide receiver there.
What do you guys think about the fact that if you opt out, like Iowa State did, you get fined $500,000 by the conference?
I think that it's actually really fair.
Yeah. Because
the conference is trying to have these bowl tie-ins that are financially viable with television partners and, like now in theory, you look at these, we make $1 million on a bowl game. Well, you end up spending it all by the time you pay for the hotels and the tickets.
Right. You got to pay for everything, don't you?
Yeah.
You pay for the
so
travel
it doesn't exactly work the way that most people think, but I think that it makes sense why the Big 12 does it, but I also think that it probably doesn't really work that way. the calendar. And I was really happy that Jimmy Rogers led off his press conference today criticizing the college football calendar.
Yeah.
That's how to get Williams on board.
Oh, God.
Start firing off the jump.
I almost interrupted him and be like, could you elaborate on that? But I didn't. I backed off. But, like, God, it's like, and that whole deal from Thursday through Friday night, too, it's like, I was not surprised at how emotional Matt Campbell was to get up there and talk about Iowa State today, because I know that man very well. That could not have been easy for him. To not only leave the players, but leave them in the dark like that. Their family. I mean, I had players' families calling me all day. They didn't know.
I still don't understand why these coaches, and not all of them do it, but Matt Campbell did, just didn't say anything until his introductory press conference. I know he's not a social media guy, but like get something out there in how many days did that go on? When did it start? He accepted it on Friday, right?
Thursday night is when it started hitting.
Like Rogers did it. Rogers posted something to Washington State. I that surprised me that he didn't at least get something else out there.
Matt Campbell's Twitter still works.
I saw he changed his.
He liked my tweet.
What?
Yeah,
He
liked my tweet today. The great Jackson Pence tweeted the video of Campbell addressing Iowa State and the fans where he broke down, and I think I just said an emotional Campbell thanks Iowa State. It was very simple, but I got a like from Matt Campbell, and I
guarantee it wasn't him. That was Skip.
It had to be Hood. Oh, I was thinking, Hoodger.
That's
Skip.
what I was thinking. That because Campbell he changed his bio, his picture, his header, and he hadn't touched anything in like years.
I don't think Matt knows how to get on Twitter.
I was so stunned by Steve Prohm popping up on my screen on Saturday, and that's not even 100 times how stunned I was to see Matt Campbell liked my tweet.
That's
I thought that
hilarious,
account was
Jake.
dead.
That's a good take. That's funny.
Well, I did see somebody. Like I'm getting in my algorithm now, like these Penn State fans and these Penn State accounts, and one of the main accounts was like, just set alerts to follow all of Coach Campbell. I'm sure he'll be announcing the new players coming. And no, that's not going to be happening.
That first recruitment video is going to make me run through a brick wall.
Right. Well, maybe he'll go back to doing what he did when he started at Iowa State. Remember when
squatting in khaki pants?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. Flipping over the tire.
Oh my God!
Drinking like Advocare Spark all the time.
Is there a chance the reason it took so long on Friday was they're trying to negotiate terms for him to use his Twitter account in the contract?
For Skip to use his Twitter account?
Has anybody watched the Josh Pate interview with Matt Campbell?
Nope.
A new one?
Yes, Pate was there at the press conference.
Pate just loves Campbell.
I refuse.
And
I'm out on Pate. I'm sorry.
Justin
I like him as a
says
human. Professionally, I'm out.
Justin says that he just watched the Pate interview and he made it sound like he had no support at Iowa State. Interesting.
Really?
Maybe I will need to go watch it then.
I mean, we'll have to delve into that because it will be interesting to hear what he has to say. I'm guessing he's going to take the high road on everything. Look, all that shit hit the fan with the NIL stuff over the weekend, and who knows what's true, what's not, what's fabricated and all that. I don't believe that Jamie Pollard could have gotten Matt Campbell to stay this time around, but I do believe that it was an accumulation of a bunch of different things that happened over the years that led Matt Campbell to want to make this jump at this time. And I'm not saying that he would have turned it down if everything would have gone his way, but there were a lot of things that we talked about one of them earlier this year, playing road games at Group of 5 schools, Matt Campbell having no say whatsoever in the schedule. That blew my mind that he was 10 years in. Things like that that I think added up over the years, and I'm not going to say pushed him out, but at least made the decision maybe a little bit easier on him. That's just my opinion, but I do believe that.
I also think too, like with these things, everybody's reality is a little bit different. Like
Sure.
I bet there's not a coach in all of college football or basketball that thinks they have enough NIL support.
Mm-hmm.
There's not one.
No, even
Maybe
Matt
Joey
Campbell's
McGuire.
probably going to want more at Penn State.
Joey McGuire.
Yeah, I got 40
Maybe.
million. No, he's going to say next year we need 50. And
All right, Cody Campbell.
Unfortunately, the reality at Iowa State is that they don't have that over-the-top NIL to push the football program over the 14 or 15 million that they can give it. Iowa does a little bit more. Iowa has a little bit more. But Iowa State cannot. I mean, there's only so much you can do. And we've seen one of them on here with Fairway as our sponsor and Audie Crooks in Fairway commercials. And I think that's a really smart thing for Fairway to do, to connect with somebody like Audie that's that likable and that big of a brand.
Audie probably, hear me out. She is the most valuable name, image, and likeness commodity in the state. Right?
I would agree. Yeah.
Pollard
Can you
said
think of
today
anybody
that
else?
Pollard said today that Iowa State had 2 athletes that were making 6 figures outside of the general allotment of revenue sharing.
Audie's
Audie
one.
Crooks and Rocco Becht. It was
Okay,
those 2.
I would have guessed either Rocco or
those would have been
Taman. You know,
Taman would be right there. Yeah. Being the Iowa kid. I don't know. This thing got really kind of out of hand, and I felt like it turned into a ton of the problem when you discuss the NIL thing on things like social media is there's just a lot of people that don't understand all the things that go into it, all the rules, all the fact that, it's really complicated. Chris, I don't know if I completely understand it still. Do you? The over the top, I get the 21-5. It gets split up in an athletic department. All the athletic departments do it differently. I understand that, but I don't necessarily fully understand everything else. And what I was watching social media over the weekend just seemed like it just kind of kept building and building, and it was just like a mob type of mentality. And I don't know if a lot of people even truly understood what they were talking about.
Everybody was just riding on raw emotion over the weekend, and still are. I mean, it was just a wild whiplash every day. And so some of this shit runs wild, and some people know what they're talking about. Some don't. I thought you guys did a great job last night on Williams and Bloom. I know it's not an easy situation to be in. I thought that was great of Brent to come out and say, you know what, even if what I said is true, I shouldn't have posted it. I think, look, Bloom's not a big man in stature, but I thought he was a big man for saying that, because he didn't have to. Bloom doesn't work for Iowa State anymore. He doesn't. Brent Bloom is the biggest Cyclone fan I've ever met in my life.
Me too.
The only person that
he has
would
that
come
bench
close
on his, literally has that bench on his patio.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And I thought, and I don't know exactly what he meant by this, but Jamie Pollard today, I saw it on social media, his on the side. It was after the press conference, and Pollard kind of started talking about raising money for NIL and what Bloom did, helping the We Will collective over the years. And then he basically said something to the effect of, yeah, we gave him a job inside the department at Learfield where he was going to do something similar, and I don't know why, but he decided to leave, and now we're left picking up the pieces. Bloom doesn't know Iowa State any. Bloom gave everything he had. Like, I give Bloom shit all the time. That guy gave everything he had to Iowa State athletics for years, and he will continue to do so. He left to go pursue other opportunities because the thing was changing. This was going to be his plan all along. Remember him talking for the last year, like, this thing's going to change. It's going to go in-house. Will's going to kind of go away. I'm going to have to find something else to do. That's what he's doing. Like, I thought that he kind of painted it in a way that it made it sound like Bloom was like quitting on Iowa State or something to that effect. I just didn't like the way it came out of his mouth is all, because
I haven't even seen it because I was so busy during that time, but I've heard it was spicy.
It just kind of
I've heard it was spicy.
Yeah, it was an interesting way to say it, because my God, I mean, that poor son of a bitch worked his ass off for these players and those coaches for years to put Iowa State in as good of a position that they're in right now.
Is that what's weighing you down?
It really was.
Yeah.
That was weighing me down.
Siouxland Scales. Just trying to swerve in and out of here. So I did get that really funny text from Nick at Siouxland Scales on Friday. He just sends me a text. He's like, I bet you know what's weighing me down right now. Talking about the Campbell thing.
Yeah, you feel like, you're so upset Campbell's leaving, and then you get this huge basketball win, and then the very next day, boom, another just weight falls on you as the team decides to not play in a bowl game. And I know we hit on this a little bit. I don't think that it's as much the game itself, you know. It's, man, so many of these guys you'll never see in a Cyclone uniform again. I mean, that might be the last time you see Rocco Becht in a Cyclone uniform.
It's so hard because you not only lose your coach, but like we always have to remind ourselves. I try and tell Jake and our Cyclone Fanatic staff this, that when we're doing like reporting and stuff, I think we often are so deep into this, like our show, Chris, where we go a mile deep on these things and we will just pound it for. There were so many people on Sunday who were texting me and tweeting at me and being like, okay, are we going to lose any players because of this? Yeah. There's just a lot of people who aren't. That's why I was saying about when the NIL thing starts flying around Twitter and stuff, there's not enough context. There's not
Bloom
a lot.
said it best last night on the show when he was like, this was the introduction that Iowa State fans unfortunately are getting to the new world. You were kind of shielded from that for a while.
And hopefully Rodgers can keep a lot of it. And I've actually heard it's going pretty well. So that's good. And that's, again, why they hired a guy as quickly as they did, so that he could have an opportunity to keep a lot of the roster. But the reality in college football is, like, I would venture to guess, I don't know anything, just know how these things work. 10 Washington State guys will be on Iowa State's roster next year. Right?
That's how it is. Yeah. Maybe the best 10.
Yeah. And there's going to be a good chunk of Iowa State guys who are playing for Penn State next year, and Jimmy Rogers all but said so today in his press conference.
I'd anticipate a few Toledo players as well. That's the C-Dub. We didn't even talk about this.
And who's coming from Toledo again?
Reportedly, their defensive coordinator is going to be a co-defensive coordinator at Iowa State.
With the guy who's at Washington State right now. He's like their interim head coach, I want to say.
So, reportedly, you're going to have the Toledo defensive coordinator that developed Quinyon Mitchell and kept him at Toledo when Nick Saban went after him. The Washington State defensive coordinator who, I'm sorry, I'm still getting caught up with names. It's a lot at at once, so I'm just referring to them as their titles. And then Coach Rogers is a defensive specialist, so they're loading up on the defensive side of the ball. And from what it's worth, I ran into a Cyclone player at the gas station this morning.
Did you tell him there's no fucking way you're going to beat Iowa on Thursday, like that other guy did with your wrestler?
Oh, God, don't do that.
No, I ran into a Cyclone football player this morning, and for what it's worth, he had a really good review so far of Coach Rogers. So,
well, I need to just reporting what we're seeing. Fake Bob Vanderplatz has sources in Brookings that says a bunch of South Dakota State players are coming to Ames.
Yeah, I saw a big time safety entered the portal today. So from SDSU.
Hey, was Rogers the coach in Iowa City that year?
He was not. He was on staff.
Okay.
So the year they lost to Iowa was 2022. That was my first game ever covering college football.
That was the first weekend of Iowa everywhere.
It was my first week at Local 5 as well.
Yeah.
How long ago that was.
He played in the game in 2008, which was the first game I ever went to at Jack Trice as a fan, just as a someone not covering the game, because it was a Thursday night to start the season in 2008. And he played quite a bit on defense in that game. And then he mentioned he was on the coaching staff for that game just early on in the season a few years ago. It had all those weather delays in it as well.
Oh, God.
Well, he was the defensive coordinator, or the co-defensive coordinator for the 2022 Iowa SDSU game at Kinnick. Was it 6-4 or 9-6, whatever the final of that game was.
I think. Yeah, I think it was 6-4. I think it was
Jack Campbell's safety in the northeast end zone, the difference in that one.
Oh, no, it was 7-3.
Oh, 7-3, yeah.
2 safeties and a field goal for Iowa. Bren, you were there when all this Campbell shit went down.
Oh, gosh, yeah,
and
I
then,
was.
Rogers arrives, and then today he's introduced. Do you sense any kind of vibe shift at all from how low things were on Friday to today?
I think it's natural that any time you hire a coach, there's always going to be that second wind of talking yourself into it. And I think that's going to happen regardless. But I do think there's been some genuine momentum as far as the rumors of staff that's being potentially brought in.
Yeah, I think they need some just things to happen. Commitments, and that'll get it going.
But there has started some momentum towards that, especially with some rumblings on potential players that could be staying maybe on the other side of the ball, the defense.
I think some of the really good defensive players are going to stay, from what I'm hearing. I don't want to.
Gus wants to know if Rogers did what Campbell did and shake fingers between the wire fence at the Ames airport when he arrived. Did you see Campbell doing that at Penn State? He went up to the fence where there were all these fans.
I could barely watch that video.
They were sticking their index fingers through the wire, and Campbell was shaking their index finger.
Hassel, I'm so glad you shared that, because I clicked on that video for 1 second and I saw Campbell wearing another logo, and I about puked and I just turned the video off. But then your comment about it, it's like, all right, I got to check this out. And it was quite humorous.
Do you think are we allowed? How will you respond, Chris? I think I know you, because you liked those guys. But can Penn State just be my Big Ten team like I have South Carolina in the SEC?
Not?
Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. You're friends with those guys. Come on.
Yeah.
And they don't play Iowa.
Yeah, so
next two seasons.
I'm not peeing in your Cheerios.
They've only got to wait 3 years to play Iowa.
Yeah. So they
I figured it'd be like 8.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, with teams like Ohio State, sometimes it is. But for whatever reason, Penn State.
Matt Campbell's youngest son would be the starting quarterback as a senior the next time they play in Kinnick Stadium.
Real talk. I have relatives in Happy Valley. 3 of my cousins went to Penn State. So we do have a place to stay if we want to do a little bi-week road trip or something like that.
I did find it interesting, and I wonder, like, is this back to being normal and accepted? he mentioned Joe Paterno in the press conference.
Oh,
today.
I thought about that. Yeah.
No, I thought it was Jay.
I think he said Joe.
I could be wrong.
Jay Paterno's agent, did I tell you this? He has a book out. And
His
he's
agent does, or
no,
Jay
Jay
does?
Paterno, he has a book out. And
Yeah.
I've been emailed like 4 times by his publisher to have him on the CW pod. And I'm like,
What's the book about?
It's about
dad?
like the modern era of college football. He's like analyzing it. And it sounds kind of interesting, but I'm like, is that okay?
Where is he at now? Is he ever?
I think he's still in Happy Valley because I did some research on this and he had like a Penn State podcast. I want to say where he like analyzed Penn State games and stuff. Cause like, is Joe Paterno like acceptable like there? Like, I don't know.
The whole Franklin era was meant to get as anti-Paterno as possible. Like not even mention him.
Like they did. But then this Terry Smith, the interim coach, he
Played
was
for
wearing
him.
like Joe Paterno shit on his shirt. And so I think that the people in State College and the Penn State people, I think they would love to be able to embrace that again. I don't know how that is going to go over nationally.
Yeah, I just confirmed
I
that
think I would stay
he
away from
thanked Coach Paterno. So
Yeah, I think he was talking about growing up in that area, and I'm not saying what he said was wrong. I just wonder if if Joe Paterno's going to come, because remember they like took his statue and like put it behind a building and covered it up.
I remember when TJ was at UNLV, he talked about how like the Tarkanian worship still exists.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like people still just walk around and talk about Tark and like that they just can't let it go. And that was in the early 90s. And that they didn't really have that long of a run. Like they were really great when they were good, but it wasn't like this was like some Duke dynasty that was there for 30 years or anything like that. And anyways,
did you see that he talked to Cale Sanderson for 45 minutes? A Penn State fan had a good line and said,
"That's painful."
A Penn State fan had a good line and said, if he can hold a 45-minute conversation with Cale Sanderson, he can recruit any kid in the country.
That's good. Yeah, Cale Sanderson wasn't much of a talker, as I remember. I covered him for a couple years before he bolted.
But yeah, that sucks.
There
sucks
was
to say out loud.
There was this kid, this special needs kid, who was this huge Cyclones fan. It was really early in my career, and I wanted to do something nice for him. So I lined up time for him to go and meet Dan McCarney. And McCarney, and I have him in the Jacobson building, and this young man McCarney is just electric. You know, he brought him all this stuff. He's talking to him like he's known him for 20 years and just making him feel like $1 million. Cale walks by. I'm like, hey, Cale, come here. Am I talking to this kid? It'll make his day. Hi. Hope you're having a good day. Just different type, man.
Yeah, he's just like a machine.
Like a robot, yeah.
Yeah.
But those wrestlers are, man, different types. So I do like Kevin Dresser because he's at least will talk to you. Like he's kind of fun to be around. All right, let's do today's Triple B with Kelderman Manufacturing.
Bigger, better, bolder. Built by Kelderman Manufacturing.
I want to go with the big women's basketball game on Wednesday night. We haven't had a chance to really dive into that yet. And
Iowa State going to be favored in that by
I
3,
think
4?
by like 4 or 5 would be my guess. 4 or 5. And by the way, we also need to acknowledge this. Audie Crooks, she's pictured right here. She is now the target of these AI.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was Caitlin Clark forever.
Yeah. What is it about our athletes in the state of Iowa to just get the target from
because
these Facebook?
They know
it's the audience.
You know, your dad, Mike Williams, is going to be on Mike Renee Williams' Facebook, and he's going to see this, and he'll be, oh my God, did you see Audie just bought a hospital and said anyone can come in for free surgeries? As long as you have a valid
surgeries herself.
ID.
Hey, Chris, can you pull up the dad's conversation from the weekend?
This is unbelievable. This is
boy.
like burying the lead. So much shit happened that I didn't even think we would get to this, but
I haven't heard about this.
This
yet.
is an all-timer, Jake.
I'm locked in.
So Mike reposted a picture of Williams and Bloom. And
very heartfelt message.
Yeah, it's been a long few weeks for Bloom. Iowa State loses a coach. It was the longest weekend of Williams' life. And my dad comments underneath it, and he says, over-under wins for Iowa State next season, 0. And Mr. Williams, I think my dad thought Mr. Williams would be like, yeah, right. Yeah, we'll still win more than your Hawkeyes. Mr. Williams responded as if my dad told him he was going to take his granddaughter's dog away and never let him see the dog again. Have you found the there it is. Look at those two lovebirds on the
see the. I can get it.
I don't see the reply. This is the tweet though.
It's Facebook.
It's on Facebook.
Oh, Facebook. Oh.
My dad's
it's
much
on
more
Mike's
of a-
it's on Mike's Facebook page. And
Hold on.
I've got it here. I've got it. So
it really is epic.
My dad said over under on wins for Ames next season, 0. Mike Williams responds 6 minutes after my dad posted that. Really, Don? You have terrible timing on your remarks. You need to grow up, and grow up is one word. You can spec about games results. I get that, but you really get personal. My thoughts, you are always on Santa's naughty list. My dad said, don't take it personal. Merry Christmas. Mike responds, Don, I love your feeling for the Hawks. Truly, I do. Hopefully you can understand my feelings for the Cyclones. With that said, while I was on vacation, you come on and say how the Ozarks suck. While I was in Ames earlier with my grandkids eating at Hickory Park, that was a terrible thing. And now, when all of ISU fans and my family is in shock, you start talking crap about next year. Please give us a little time. We will adjust before your next comments. If and when your team beats us, all is fair game. I don't know if anything's transpired since then, but I did respond late last night with the dog dragging its ass gif in the comments.
Don is on Santa's naughty list.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's too funny.
Oh yeah. Man, these two old men. This is what happens with old people. Like they're worse than young people on social media. They are. Because they don't see tone at all. Like we can kind of tell tone a little bit. We text more than they do.
Grew up in this
we're on
digital era.
Twitter more than they can't see it. And they get so worked up. And like you said,
they have a hard time typing. I think their fingers are bigger on their, you know what I mean, on their phones. So they have a lot more typos.
Uh-huh. And like you've said all along, if they met each other, they'd love each other.
They'd be best friends.
They would. God.
Where are you going for your BBB Hassel?
No, women's basketball. I'm telling you, it's going to be a heck of a game. And
I can't wait.
Big one for Fenway.
Where are you sitting, Williams?
I don't know yet. I'm deciding. I'm in the 100s. I don't know.
Okay. I'll have to find you and get you on camera a little bit. It's pretty entertaining for cutaways when you're going nuts at Hilton.
Well, I'm not going to do the tarps off.
That's what you think. That's what you think.
From that.
You wait until that game gets tight late and Iowa State makes a game-winning shot. I'm just going to go Iowa State fans. God, you got to put up with a lot of crap from people like my dad, from people like me. You have all this going for you. You've got the greatest coach in Iowa State football history. And then just out of nowhere, when it seems like the coaching cycle is done, like you made it to signing day, and that happens so fast. And I just love the passion. Like there's just so much passion that Iowa State has for athletics. And look, I feel for you. I really do. It's the end of an era.
I think it's all fair. And I think it was Murph said to us, there's like the 7 stages of grief or whatever, and it's wild. You've like been able to see it.
Well, in like
in the last few days.
The first stage hits, and all of a sudden you already have a new coach, and you're like, and most people don't know who it is. Like, I think it would have been easier to take if that was Mauser. Like, okay, all right, we're still keeping a portion of this era going, right? I wonder, now you got me on a tangent. I wonder if we've seen the last of the Cyclone script helmets.
Oh, come on.
I wonder if that's one of the things Pollard says to the new guy is you are going back to I-State.
Oh, stop it.
Hey.
He did wear black today, I noticed.
A black tie, yeah.
He wore black to the players only meeting as well.
Yeah, he had a black
There's no
shirt.
cardinal or gold on that sweatshirt.
I wanted to ask about that, but it would have been a stupid question. It's like our first
We'll
time
get
to
him on a
this
podcast.
Guy. Yeah. It's just like it'd be a dumb question to ask in his first press conference. I would have been really annoyed if somebody else would have done that, but I did find myself wondering what you're talking about, Chris. Like, will you still be very progressive on the uniforms?
Mm-hmm. We didn't see the I-State logo a single time this season.
I do regret that for the future because it seemed like the Campbell staff was getting more and more creative every year.
Yeah.
And I keep waiting for him to bring back that gaudy blue.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that? I don't know how much you've listened to the Pollard interview, Williams. I know you were talking to someone during it. But Pollard mentioned very casually during that Rodgers' $4 million buyout will be paid by his contract.
That was interesting.
So Iowa State's not paying his buyout. If I'm Rodgers, I'm saying, okay, if I'm paying my own buyout through my contract, I'm going to wear whatever I want.
Well, he did say that Rodgers did say that Jamie called him and he's like, if I were to offer you this job, and Rodgers was like, stop right there. I don't give a goddamn what you pay me. It doesn't matter one bit. I'm taking the job. And so Pollard, okay, well, then I'm going to write in that you're paying your own buyout there, pal.
All right. Jakey, what do you got?
I'm going with Mommy. Mila Momcilovic.
Oh, Mamino.
Los, as they call him.
Los?
Yeah, I got to ask him where that nickname comes from. I don't know. They call him Los.
How's it spelled?
L-O-S.
And it's pronounced Loesch?
Los.
Oh, Los.
I'll do some investigative journalism, but I'm going with Momcilovic because I don't think he's getting enough credit for everything he's doing outside of shooting. Like, his defense has gotten so much better. His passing has gotten so much better. His rebounding has improved. Of course, his consistency, his confidence has improved. Like, he is lethal. And I would have never thought we'd be 3 weeks or 4 weeks into the season and saying that you could make the argument that Momcilovic is Iowa State's best player, because I think that highly of Joshua Jefferson and Tamin Lipsey. And I think you can legitimately make that argument right now. And
buckets.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about his efficiency, and the last 3 games is pretty ridiculous. I mean, if you go even back to St. John's, he's shooting well over 65% from 3 in those games. Like, it is unbelievable what he's doing. But everything else that he's doing also is making Iowa State that much better, and that's why the conversation an hour ago, Hassel, I do think this is TJ's best team, and it's got the potential to do it, because if your worst defender on the floor is Milan right now, he's playing pretty well for the 5th best defender on the team.
Good stuff. Jake, thank you.
I hope he's not very good on Thursday night.
It has been a really, really long fight. Jake's worked a ton, and you're just going above and beyond.
How you guys both, man? Jeez, what? Are you going to get any kind of a respite here?
Not this week.
Honestly, tomorrow should be. You'd think, but
Watch your tongue.
We could have 50 people enter the portal tomorrow. So on paper, the schedule right now, it looks like there might be time to sleep more than 4 hours, but we'll see.
Well, you guys are doing a great job. Keep it up. Well, hopefully you don't have to keep it up because it slows down a little bit. But I know you get through this Cyhawk week, and then
it'd be nice. Yeah, next week, give us a little news because there's not going to be a meaningful basketball game until January 2nd after the Cyhawk game on Thursday, at least for the men. So give me all the coaching changes and the transfer portal stuff then. Hold it off.
Let's go. Thanks for everybody, and also being patient with us. I know it was later, but obviously the Jimmy Rogers press conference is a really big deal, and I had to be up there, and just made sense to react to it on a Monday night compared to rushing it. And Keith and Andy did a great job during their show today as well. If you want to go back and watch Murph and Andy on YouTube, I would encourage you to go and do that as well. We do have Overthinking coming up tomorrow. I will likely do a CW pod tomorrow. I got to figure that out. I want to do something Iowa State football related to dive in. I'm going to try and get a former player, see if Bruns can jump on or something like that. That's the plan. So, everybody, we appreciate you guys.
And we'll be back again Friday a.m. sometime.
Yeah.
We'll let you know.
Doesn't make any sense to do it on Thursday. Date the thing. So we'll react first thing Friday morning to the Cyhawk game. Everybody have an awesome night. We appreciate you. Fairway Meat and Grocery, thank you so much for watching. Later.